it's me, Mila Rose. How are you doing today? I hope you're having a wonderful week. Happy Tuesday. Today we are going to do the how to find peace and healing for my lucky Leos. Yes, I've been trying out this new reading. I did it for Scorpio and Pisces, and I enjoyed it. So I was like, all right, we'll go ahead and we'll do it for Libras and Leos as well. So we're gonna start off with Leos, and then I'll do Libras, and then we'll get into whatever I feel like doing for the rest of the month for you all. Unless you have requests that you'd like to know about. I'll do relationships, and I like money though. I want to focus on like finding success through following your passion. So how you can live a life where you're taking care of yourself while following your passions. But I also understand that not everybody wants to do that. Like some people enjoy having separation between their passion and how they make money. So I don't know. Anyways, we're focusing on how to find peace and healing for our Leos. So let's see what you've got going on. Okay. If you enjoy my videos, do not forget to like and subscribe for more. All right, we're starting off. Coming out the gate, we've got a Three of Chalices in reverse. Oh, okay. Celebration time has come to an end. Party time has come to an end. Are you being much more serious now, Leos? Much more serious about finding your peace. We got a Four of Wands, maintaining your peace, finding structure in order to fulfill your passions. Eight of Wands, good communication, nice messaging, like making sure all of that is going well. Okay. And quick movement, quick action. Oh, you've got like, interesting. There's an interesting story right here coming out. So we have being a little bit more serious. Fun times have come to an end. You may be a little less social right now. And this is how you can find some peace and healing. So if you're like, I'm doing good and I don't really have a lot of stressful things going on, then like, keep doing your thing. But if you've been stressed out, or you've been feeling blocked, or you've been feeling just like things are not going in the direction you'd like for them to, in order to find some peace and some healing, you might want to get a little bit more serious about things. You might want to be a little less social right now, just so you can get some more stability, so you can make some movement, so you can get some action going on. Eights are about perfection. They're the number related to perfection, and so it's just allowing that space, your mind to quiet, for your energy to be able to like spiral up like it's doing here and move towards the things that you actually want to bring forward to you. Like if you were looking at a traditional Rider-Waite deck, it would be 8 wands kind of like going down to the ground really quickly. So it's like a grounding of that energy in order to actually manifest what it is you'd like to have happen. And then we have a 2 of Chalices in reverse. So there may also be some relationships that you need to review and release, or some connections, some collaborations. We're not taking all of those. That's ridiculous. Perhaps their time has just come to a close. That time has come to an end. There's nothing wrong with that. This one I'm going to say was a little like sideways. But we have a 6 of Pentacles. You need to balance some things out. I think that it's speaking back to that 3 of Chalices in reverse. But you need to balance some things out. There is a little bit of inequality going on as far as how much you are putting out there and how much you are getting back in return for what you're doing. Or you may be in need for more help. We have a 9 of Pentacles following after as a clarifier for the 6 of Pentacles. So, you're in a pretty good space. You're enjoying the fruits of your labor. 8 of Chalices, you've got 2 8s going on now. So there's definitely some energy around perfectionism. There's definitely some energy around patterns, repeating cycles. We have, and then we get the 8 of Swords in reverse. Yeah, this is a repeating cycle. This is something that's been going on for quite some time. That you've been needing to switch this energy up, one, so that you can get more movement and action, see forward progression in the things that you're doing. And then on this side, we're looking at you've got to balance this out, because you're either in a space where you have to overgive and the energy, time, and money that you have to invest in things, whereas you should be having more time to enjoy yourself, to relax, to rest, to just enjoy the fruits of your labor. Instead, we're finding ourselves in this Eight of Chalices and in this Eight of Swords reverse. So you're finding yourself needing to find clarity and leave stressful situations. I like the way that this Eight of Chalices is framed. It's got this individual, and they have a pen coming down, and they have all these books and things. And so it's like you've gone through this, finding this wisdom. And now that you've found this wisdom, it's time for you to move forward. It's time for you to leave some things behind and move to the next step. If you stay too much in this emotionally draining space, as you can see, we had a 10 of chalices at the bottom. If you stay too much at this emotionally draining space, what you find is that you're just kind of running in, you're like a hamster running in a circle in the wheel. Like, you're not ever actually moving forward. So it's like, close the books and move forward. In traditional Rider Waite, it would be an individual leaving 8 cups behind. The situation has come to an end. It's time to close those things out. And then we have the 8 of Swords in reverse. And so it's like this self-imposed prison. You have, I'll turn it around actually, because if you put these two together, they match up pretty well. Is that you have this individual who is worn out because of all the research they've done, all the thinking they've done, all the ruminating they've done around this. Like, it's like, okay, like, you've tried to solve this through getting really deeply in touch with your emotions. That connection hasn't really served you well. You've tried to solve this by beating yourself up and overthinking and overthinking and overthinking, like, how do I balance this out? How do I balance this out? How do I get to enjoy my life? How do I get to, like, actually use the things that I put my time and effort into, instead of having to constantly have other people asking me for the things, asking me for money, asking me for time, asking me to care about the stuff that they have going on, even though it's their stuff and I should be able to just relax. I'm over here having to put aside my own feelings in order to be able to, like, think through and help them with theirs. It's like, no, it's time to let that go. Tell them they can solve their own problems, and it's or for yourself to solve your own problems and walk away from unhealthy connections. 2 of chalices. And to get out of your head and to say, like, okay, it's time for me to leave this circumstance. It's time for me to stop thinking about this and trying to problem solve and find a way through this, when, like, it's just not happening. Like, if this is the pattern, you cannot keep doing the same thing and expect to get a different result. You will keep getting the same result until you do something different. So it's time for you to think outside of the box and find a new, different solution. So let's see maybe what direction you decide to go with that. And this is what will bring you peace and get you out of this cycle. Okay, so 5 of Swords. Yeah, you definitely are going to need to be a little creative. You're going to need to think outside of the box. Do not compare yourself to others while this is going on. We're going to go ahead and put this Queen of... I'm going to move this way over here. Okay, we're going to go ahead and put this Queen of... Okay, sorry. It just bothers me sometimes when I'm like, oh, I don't like it. Okay. We're going to put this Queen of Swords in reverse. So, running out the gate and confronting someone and being very, very, usually we get a Queen of Swords in the upright position, and that's usually saying that either someone's coming in who can help you set really good boundaries, very logical, very supportive, or it's saying you need to set really good boundaries and take that other approach to things. But okay, Knave of Wands. I need more space. Okay. Okay. So 5s are always about expansion. They're about tension, expansion, and growth. When a 5 of Swords comes up, what we're looking at is that you have needed to take a break. You've needed to rest. But if you let your mind rest, if you find too much, like, peace, then there's no room to expand, there's no room to grow, there's no room for innovative thoughts. And so like right now, you're, like I said, you're needing to think outside of the box. You're needing to do something different. You're being pushed into a space to think differently about how to solve this, how to move forward from this. How to move forward is really what I'm seeing as like the main narrative around this reading. Is moving forward is thinking your way outside of this by doing something and taking the route and finding an innovative thought that you haven't done before, because you've followed a lot of, I think, traditional or standard reactions, standard ways of addressing the fact that you are not feeling fulfilled or that your needs are being met in the way that they need to, but yet none of those reactions or responsive have yielded change. And so you're being kind of pushed out of this space of perfection. You're being pushed out of this space of kind of an ongoing cycle. And the thing about perfection is that it's not necessarily like, don't think perfectionism in the sense of like, well, I'm just going to keep going and going and I'll never finish because it's never perfect, or like I'm never perfect, anything like that. Think of it as when like you're reaching for perfection, what you're really doing is you're kind of allowing for there to be entropy. So like a lack of growth. Because the only thing, so when something is perfect, it is done, it is dead. And so there's no further improvements that can be made. There's no growth that can be made. So perfectionism can be harmful in that it goes exactly against everything that we're talking about in this reading, which is growth, innovation, change. So like this is the move to make, is to take a different route, to think through this, and whatever like different thought comes up, to say like, maybe I could do this instead. In this case, maybe it is releasing the Queen of Swords in your life, who is very logical, who is very like strict, who can be very cold emotionally. Or maybe it is you taking less of a Queen of Swords stance on things and attempting to be more warm and caring to yourself and others. But to get out of this box, to find that peace and healing in your life, you have to think differently about things, and allow yourself to maybe, and maybe that's the thing, it's not being quite so logical. We have an Eight of Swords in reverse, we have a Queen of Swords in reverse. Like you have to maybe get more into your feelings and get more into the reality. Ten of Pentacles, your legacy, the things that you've picked up, the way that you're dealing with things that you have inherited from family that have you in this same cycle. Like if your family has constantly healed through, I don't know, in this case, even maybe looking at like making more money, or just picking up a new project, or taking on a new job, or like finding a new lover, or move and just move away from your problems. Like if whatever has been the result that you've inherited, or that is your legacy, what other options are there outside of that? Have there been individuals in your family who have taken a different route, and maybe they are the black sheep and no one talks about them, but they've broken the cycle, they've started a new system, they've started a new practice? Like where can you take that in and use that for yourself, utilize that for yourself? And from that, you'll find some fire. Like we're finally getting some fire, we're finally getting some movement to this piece, to this things to change, to actual like change. And that energy of being able to say like, okay, like I can be creative and I can find a different route, I can find a different option. Yay, we're getting those wands energy. When you take this new route, when you think outside of the box, what you're finding is we get a Knight of so Knave of Wands is like the Page of Wands, so it is just the like general energy of wands of fire. It is just like the spark of life, and getting back to that, finding that peace, finding, and especially for you, Leo, like as a Leo, you need that light, you need that energy, you need that fire. Allows for you to feel again, to feel passion again, to feel connection again, to understand that like, yeah, okay, I've done a lot of hard work. I'm in a space right now where, yeah, I'm a little worn out, but I'm on the route to getting what I want in the long run, to get to this 10s, to get to the end of like the stress and all of that, and to start a new cycle. So we go from 10 to a 1. And most people would be like, oh, that's like going backwards. And me, I'm like, no, that's understanding where you've come from so that you know where you want to go, so you can build up to the legacy that you want to create, not the one that's been passed down to you or just repeating cycles of spaces that you've always been in. So think outside the box, Leo. Take a different route. Even if it's a mistake and it doesn't work out, like try it out anyway, because at least you'll be somewhere different. You'll be somewhere new. It is remaining in this unhealthy space and in this unhealthy pattern that is keeping you from finding peace and healing. So we gotta switch it up. We gotta get to this new space and open up to this one energy, to this Knave of Wands energy. So that is it for my Leos. I love you. Go ahead and comment down below your thoughts. Like the video. Hit the subscribe button so that you can see all my videos, and go ahead and click the little bell so that you get notifications when I post new videos. And I will see y'all later. Have a great one. Bye.